Welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly and I make everything vegan and gluten-free. And today we are just diving straight into fall with an apple recipe. Now, I have not tried this recipe before. However, it looked amazing. The creator I found that made it, I don't know if I've just never tried her recipes before, but you would literally have to like pay for the site that she like posts her recipes on. So I just try to find something close enough. So what we're making today is baked apple rings. You can fry them as well, but I like to try and be a little bit more healthy. So we're going to try baking them instead. Let's get right into the ingredients. 1 apple. I'm using green today. I don't think it's matters what kind you use, but it's a very large one, so we'll see if one will be enough. 1-to-1 gluten-free flour, cornstarch, baking powder, baking soda, cinnamon, pumpkin spice seasoning, salt, maple syrup, or agave if I run out, soy milk. Normally I'd use unsweetened, but they didn't have any at the store. Apple cider vinegar, and vanilla extract. I forgot one ingredient, it is brown sugar. Let's start by mixing our dry ingredients. 1 1/4 cup of 1-to-1 gluten-free flour, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 teaspoons baking powder, half a teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon pumpkin pie spice, 1/4 teaspoon sea salt. Let's give this a whisk just to combine the dry ingredients. Before we add the wet ingredients, let's go ahead and preheat our ovens to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and prepare a baking sheet with parchment. I'm going to mix up the liquid ingredients in a separate bowl first before adding them in. I don't know, some recipes don't say you don't need to mix them separately, but I always like to. I'm not sure if it actually does anything. That's just how I like to do it. We need 1/4 cup of maple syrup, or agave probably. Oh, I might just have just enough. 1 cup, of our soy milk, 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, and half a tablespoon of vanilla extract. That might be a little bit more, but it's okay. Let's give this a whisk, and this is why I wanted to do this separately. Because there is syrup in here, I want to make sure it's actually blended in. Get it nice and foamy and bubbly. Now let's add the wet to the dry. And the reason I haven't done the apples yet is because it says to let this sit for 5 minutes before we put the apples. I think it'll take not 5 minutes to cut the apple, but we'll just do this in the meantime. So let's add our wet into our dry ingredients. Don't forget to spatula all of the wet ingredients out of the bowl. Okay, let's give it a whisk. Now it says it wants to sit for 5 minutes to I think it said let the baking powder do its thing. I don't really know if that is like good because like we don't really need it to be fluffy, I guess, in the oven because they're supposed to be fried originally. I don't know. Anyways, I'll let it sit, or I'll do this and then I'll cut the apple. So that looks good. It smells amazing. These are gonna taste so good. We are taking it outside because as per usual, I'm filming a vertical version as well. So we're going to slice our apple and then core it. I'm using this little thingy that I got I bought like a set of them. This is the smallest one, and then they go up big to like this size. I think they're cookie cutters. I did see the original video. She was just using the cap off of like an oil bottle. They're supposed to be 1/4 inch round, so I don't know if I made them 1/4 inch, but let's hope they're not too thick. Y'all, there's a wasp, so we're gonna have to try to do this quick. We're going to dunk our apple slices into our batter. Flip it, make sure it's nice and coated, and then we're gonna knock off excess and then put it onto our baking sheet. Okay, perfect. Let's get them in the oven. I've decided because there's so much batter left that I might as well cut up another apple. Plus we have some room on the sheet, so we're just gonna cut up another apple and dip it. There was lots of batter. I ended up digging out a couple older apples, which actually this recipe is probably perfect if you have a few like wrinkly, softer apples in your crisper in your fridge, which I had. So I ended up doing 4 apples in total. 3 of them were our smaller apples, and then that large, huge one you saw in the video earlier. So now I pop them in the oven at 375 for 22 minutes, but we are flipping halfway, so I just have an 11-minute timer on now, and then we'll flip them. Honestly, by nearing the end of the batter, they looked so much better because they weren't just completely drenched as much. So we'll see, and they're a different type of apple, like a Honeycrisp or something like that. So we will see. All right, this is halfway, so let's go ahead and flip them. I'm kind of scared to flip them because, yeah, as I kind of thought they would be. No! I'm not gonna flip them because I feel like it's gonna either.
Flip one.
It's gonna stick.
Sorry, just one.
It's sticking to the bottom. Well, I did. It was this one, and look at all the batter was stuck to the
at least
bottom.
just do one for testing.
So I'll flip this one. This is the second batch that has less batter, so we're just gonna leave them and put them back in. But in the meantime, while they're baking, we can make our cinnamon sugar coating. So the cinnamon sugar coating is actually 2 different parts. One is the liquid part, and then the other is the cinnamon sugar part. The liquid part is just maple syrup and a splash of vanilla. This is all I have left of my maple syrup, about maybe half a tablespoon, maybe. So I don't think I'm actually gonna need 1/4 of a cup. So I have agave here, so I'm just going to put a little bit more in there, and then a splash of vanilla extract. Just give it a little mix together. So we're gonna use this to coat, and then we'll put the cinnamon sugar, sprinkle it on top. You can toss it, but I don't really know if tossing it is gonna be a thing. 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Use a fork, use whatever to just mix it together. Our timer is up, and y'all, these smell so delicious, but they look horrific. These definitely would be 1,000 times better fried. They would look so good fried. I'm just really like not into frying stuff. This is what we have. I mean, as long as it tastes good, right? The timer went off. I just stuck my fork in there and stabbed a couple of apples just to make sure they were cooked, because you don't want a half-baked apple. But I am kind of hoping that them being cooked all the way means that I can just pop them off. Yeah, off of the pan like this, like so. This is pretty much what the recipe that I followed online looks like. And I was a little bit worried about, maybe I should get a knife, about them sticking together like this. I think I'll just cut these apart. I don't know, it's either I let it all stay on like this and they look kind of ugly, or like I would peel it off and they would end up the bottom part looking like this, and that doesn't look. This one's probably wrecked anyways because it's all mushy. Okay, anyways, while they're still warm, let's go ahead and put some syrup. So we're just gonna coat, let's just coat the tops, because also this will, like, in the pictures I saw, I was like, wow, they look the same, they look bad like this, but when you put the cinnamon sugar on top, you know, it kind of hides that. Also, I probably shouldn't have used brown sugar. It would probably be better with cane sugar because it wouldn't be like so sticky, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's give one a taste. So I did, look at these ones. Okay, I did these for the vertical video and I think they look way better because they had less stuff on them, but like these ones, they still don't look too bad. I think the more sugar, the better, so it doesn't melt in there. So this was one of the red apples, and you can kind of see it in there. It's actually so good. I was trying one of these ones without any maple syrup or cinnamon sugar, and they're like, I'd rather have just eaten it with nothing, like no batter, but this guy with the maple syrup, oh, this one's just apple, and the sugar, so good, and it's like a little crunchy on the outside, and the apple's so nice and soft inside. It's so good. So I'm like, okay, yeah, with the maple syrup and a lot of cinnamon sugar on top, they look way better. They look like little donuts. These ones obviously too much batter, essentially. Not as crunchy. And the green apples definitely like don't need as much time baking. So be aware of that. Because the green apples are like very, very soft, like extremely soft, where these red apples are like the perfect softness in comparison. So that's interesting, good to know. And I also don't know how long these would last. I feel like they need to be eaten in the same day for sure, especially with the maple syrup. It will probably, like with that one I just tried, the green one, kind of, it's gonna get soggy, so there's that. I feel like if you fried them and dried them properly and then like brushed it, I don't know, I still think they're fried. If they were fried, they'd still not be good the next day anyways. These ones are definitely better than those ones, and the ones that have too much batter, and the green apples. The red apples with less batter, way better. I would love to try frying them one day. I think that would be excellent. If one of you guys does it, let me know how it goes, because I think that would be excellent. But with that, that is the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!